Hello students. You must have gone through the earlier lecture based on the linguistic analysis. The first branch of linguistic analysis is morphology. And in morphology, we are going to study the formation of the words and that we have to study. So what is morphology? We are going to study in detail as we have gone through the the linguistic analysis. The first branch studies the smallest meaningful units. Okay, let's see how these smallest meaningful units are. In the so-called study of language, we have various branches of language study. And in morphology study stands for the study of forms. Each and every branch has a dedicated study, aim, objective, or target. And that is how we have to study these objectives. In short, morphology deals with the grammar of the morpheme. It is a systematic study of how the words are structured. How the words are structured. In what way the words are formed. Means the study of form. So morphology stands for the study of smallest meaningful units. Smallest meaningful units. And these units come together to form the words. So in short, in everyday language users, we have two types of, say, the morphemes, stems, and affixes. Morpheme stands for the smallest meaningful units. Morpheme. So language has two, say, stems and affixes, and both of them are separated by the hyphen. See the hyphen. In the words like unknown, governors, terrible, misunderstandings, utterly, agreement. So in these words, we have un is added before the stem no. N is also added after the word no. Govern, we have or added after the stem govern. Or. Es is added after the or is added. In word terrible, we have terror as a stem and ible as the affixes. mis is added before the stem under. Stand is also one of the stem is added after the under. ing is also added after the stem, and yes is also added as the affixes. Utterly, utter is a stem, ly is a affixes. Agreement, agree is a stem, meant is the affixes. In these words, some of the affixes are added before the stem and some of the affixes are added after the stem. So in more particular, we are going to study them Some words that can stand apart are called as stem. So the words जे शब्द ह्या शब्दांमध्ये स्वतंत्रपणे राहू शकतात अशा शब्दांना स्टेम असं म्हणायचं. Un is meaningless if used in isolation. त्यांना वेगळं करून जर आपण ठेवलं तर अनचा अर्थ काही होत नाही. मात्र नो हा शब्द वेगळा केला तर नोचा अर्थ काहीतरी निघतो. म्हणजे नो is a stem, is a base word, is a root word, and un has meaning after un is added to the no. नोला अन जोडल्यानंतर त्या शब्दाला अर्थ प्राप्त होतो. अन ह्या शब्दाला अर्थ प्राप्त होतो. तसंच गव्हर्न. गव्हर्न हा शब्द स्टेम आहे. त्याचा ओ आर बनवून नाउन तयार झालाय. ओके, गव्हर्नर, अ पर्सन हू गव्हर्न्स. ओके, प्लुरल यस ऍड झालेला आहे. टेरर is a stem word. Able, IBLE, is a affix added to it. Okay. See, under is a base word. It stands for the preposition also. Okay. So in such a way, utter is a stem. Ly doesn't have meaning in isolation. Mint doesn't has any kind of a meaning in isolation. It has meaning when it is added to the say so-called stem. That is what we have to study these words. So affixes are added before the word, before the stem, or after the stem, and affixes are used to make the simple word more complicated. Just like no is a simple word. See, no is a simple word, while unknown is a complicated word. Govern is a simple word. Governor, governors are complicated words. Ter is a simple word. Terrible is a complicated word. Under is a simple word, or stand is a simple word. But misunderstanding and misunderstandings are difficult words or complicated words. In the same way, agree is a simple word. Agreement is a complicated word. So the affixes are used to make the words more complicated. Affixes that are added before the word are called as prefixes. Just like un, miss, miss. These are prefixes because they are pre. Pre stands for before the stem. And affixes that are added after the stem is called as suffixes. Means suffixes are suff stands for the at the end of the word. So suffixes stands for the end part affixes. Just like hyphen n, hyphen or, hyphen s, hyphen ing, ly, ed, and main. These are suffixes. In simple words, say simple words are those which has just one morpheme, and more complicated words are complex words. Complex words are combined words by two or more morphemes. See, and that is what we have just an example of unfortunately. In unfortunately, we do have four morphemes. Un is a prefix, fortune is the stem, ate is also one of the affixes or suffixes, yelva is also a suffix. So in these words, we have to study them in such a way. We have this particular part, that is the simple morphemes and complicated morphemes. Simple words or complicated words. In these so-called affixation, we have two types of affixes. One is added before, are called as prefixes, and the other one is added after the stem, are called as suffixes. So in these words, definitely we do have this type of things that we must categorize. So in so-called discussion, we have studied that there are some concepts. As a student, we must understand these concepts are very simple one. Four concepts that we studied. Okay, what is prefix? What is suffix? What is simple words? And what is complex words? Okay. For example, if we have to study this, okay, so in the word that we have taken, okay, is morphology. Morphology, see, oh, the word that we have just taken is unfortunately. If we see, we can add hyphen where the words are. In these, if we have to analyze this word or these so-called morphemes, we have un as prefix. Then we have fortune as stem. Ate, we have this as suffix. And ly, of course, are separated by hyphen, is called as also suffix. So we have these four morphemes. Un is a prefix, fortune is stem, it is suffix, ly is also suffix. In what way or what happens in the words like fortune? We have the stem word, like if we type or if we write the word fortune, we have to see that it is e. We have e in this word, but when we go on adding some of the say called suffixes, we have the depletion of this e, and it is replaced with a, and that is what we have seen the first order fortunate. So depletion of e becomes the a, and with these we have the first order of, say, the word formation. This is the first stage that we see. Then what happens Either we can add un, second, unfortunate. See, unfortunate, like this, unfortunate, un. Then we have unfortunate, unfortunately. So the order of adding the affixes are, we have added ate. Fortune stands for noun. It stands for adjectives. It stands for unfortunate. It's again adjective. And from adjectives, we do have this as adverb. So like this, we have this particular type of, say, the order. In what order the affixes are ordered? 1, 2, then 3. In the order Kramane. In the order, what are the affixes that are added? So accordingly, we have the change in the category of the word. So the fortune stands for the noun, but fortunate stands for the adjective. And like this, we have this type of words. Okay, see. So in this way, definitely we can categorize them in such a way. See, fortune turns into an adjective, fortunate. Unfortunate is also because at is an adjective making suffix. Un is negative. Okay, it sends the meaning is negative. Fortune, unfortunate, or we can say it's an opposite word. And then we have from adjective we can derive the adverbs. Okay, by adding ly suffix we can derive the word that is adverb. So with these words, definitely we have this type of say so-called word formation process, and we come to know how the words are formed. It means that the words are opportune, words are feasible to be modified, to be added, and to make the new words. But in what way, in what order, or which are the suffixes that we need to add is a different thing, and that is studied under the branch of study that is morphology. So in these words, okay, we must think whatever we have learned today, some smaller concepts that we have learned today, we had to memorize them. You can use this video, download it, read it, and along with the shared notes on Google Classroom that you might have gone through, the notes are uploaded in Google Classroom. You can go through these notes and definitely you can utilize them. Okay, so try to understand these words and word formation. Okay, again I will share some of the views and concepts in smaller concepts. It's a slow progress at the outset of the grammar. Your understanding is more important than rest of the things. So in the virtual type of teaching and learning, you should get enough space and time to prepare yourselves for the study. So you basically need to go through whatever the concepts that are communicated to you. Okay, so with these words I say rest of the things we will continue in our next lecture, video lecture. Thank you.